welcome back to my channel. So today I have something a little bit different for you guys, and I wasn't planning to do this look yet, but I think it would be a really good look to include during this week's tutorial just to kind of balance out yesterday's really dramatic look. So I got a video request to recreate the look that Selena Gomez wore on the Victoria's Secret fashion show. I know that was already kind of like a little while back already, but who cares? And I actually was really motivated to do it because, like I said, I think it was a really good look to kind of balance out the recent holiday looks that I've been putting out, because you know me, and I mean, well, if you don't know by now, my style is that very dramatic, intricate, detailed looks in a way. I'm all about like really clean, sharp eyebrows, strong contour, bold eyes, colors, lips, stuff like that. I mean, that's just what I enjoy, and that's, like I said, kind of my style. Although, again, reason why I thought this look would be a good look to do for this week's tutorials is that I think it's good to show versatility and also to give you guys versatility, because this look is very opposite of that. It's actually very soft. It's very doable and easy and wearable for a lot of different people, a lot of different skin tones. And like I said, it's a lot more soft and everyday and very romantic and not a lot of fuss, really. I mean, it's not just a basic 5-minute makeup, you know, let's be real, but it's also not very where you have to be very clean and stuff like that. This look, the look that she wore on that fashion show, is literally what I like to call classic makeup, and a lot of the techniques and stuff that I'm going to show you about this tutorial are a lot of stuff that I took away from working with Bobbi Brown. Bobbi Brown is very big on natural beauty and very easy to do makeup for the everyday woman, which is awesome because not everybody can be a pro makeup artist and not everybody has the time to have a full beat face, you know, like it takes time, right? But like I said, the technique shown on here is something that anybody can do. It is for, like I said, the everyday woman, and it's very soft and just a little tips and tricks here and there to just kind of give it an extra boost, kind of make it look a little more special rather than just your everyday makeup. But Victoria's Secret is very big on being very sexy, natural, obviously, and kind of just like a very bedroomized kind of deal going on. I busted out my Victoria's Secret robe. I actually have one. Just for this little intro. I probably look like an idiot. I don't know. Anyway, but I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope I showed you guys something new, a little different, a little, you know, a little bit of a different side of what I can also do. To me, it's very important as a makeup artist to show that you have more than just one style. It's great. Trust me, it is great to have like a signature style where people can see someone's makeup and be like, oh, I know Kat did her makeup. Like, that's awesome to have, but it's also really awesome to know how to manipulate your style into different types of looks for different types of clients. So that's something to always keep in mind as well. Anyway, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, let me know. Let me know if you have any other requests that you would like to see down below in the comments. And yeah, let's move on.
Okay, so to start off this look, I'm taking Benefit's Lemonade. This is basically the same concept as MAC Paint Pot and Soft Ochre. It's an eye primer with a yellow tint to it to cancel out any eyelid discoloration. I am taking this on a Luxie Fluff brush and pressing this all over my entire eyelid space. I'm then taking the Benefit Single Shadow in Call My Buff, and I'm just placing this all over the entire eyelid with a large Morphe eyeshadow brush. Then I'm taking the Benefit Single Shadow in It's Complicated. This is a metallic shadow and it has a light peach tone to it. I'm taking this on a Luxie large blending brush and just pressing this into our crease and extending our crease a little bit outward instead of hugging our outer V like how we normally would do. This is going to act as our transition shade. I'm then taking the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette and using the shade Sprinkles on that same Luxie blending brush, and again just going back and forth in the crease, and this time I'm just kind of accentuating the harsh V that I want on the outside of the crease. I'm then taking the color Cotton Candy, which is more of a vibrant light pink, and on that same blending brush going over the crease, and again as you can see there I was just sharpening up and defining that outer V and winging it out more with the shadow. I'm then taking the color Totally Fetch, which is a very hot pink, And I'm using a smaller Luxie blending brush to really pack this on the very inner part of the outer V, and also doing the same with the inner C of the eye. We're going to kind of do more of like a halo effect like we did in our last tutorial with that smoky eye. So then we're connecting those two outer V and inner C corners over on top in the crease with that small blending brush and with that same eyeshadow color. I'm then taking ColourPop Super Shock Cheek Color in Spoon and using this as a base. So with my ring finger, I am pressing this onto the center where we left blank, or the ball of my eye, and then taking the color Satin Sheets, which has a nice metallic shine to it, and pressing this all over on top of that Super Shock Cheek Color. I'm then going to be taking up a little bit more of Cotton Candy on that smaller blending brush and just blending in the edges of Satin Sheets with that very hot pink Totally Fetch color. So we have more of like a 3D effect going on, and also using that shadow to blend out the top area where we had placed in our crease as well, so it's not so choppy looking. I'm then taking a clean blending brush and just kind of cleaning up the top edge of our crease because I really want this to be sharp. Selena's shadows seem to be like a really nice strong wing, so we're kind of like mimicking that, but we don't want to go too far up into the brow bone. For eyeliner, I am taking Sigma's Gel Liner in Wicked, and we're doing something really different with our eyeliner this time. Totally not what you guys are used to normally seeing me do. I'm just actually lining the top of my lid slightly, starting from the very inner corner, and as we go to the outer part of our top lid, I'm kind of thickening up the line a little bit. We are not really doing a wing whatsoever. It's just that the line gets a little thicker as we go to the outer part. This is what you call a classic eyeliner. This eyeliner kind of reminds me of like when you first start to learn how to do your liner, and like usually young girls will just line the top of their eye like this, because basically eyeliner was made to accentuate the thickness and fullness of your lashes, not so much to have like a really strong, sharp, like killer wing. That's just something that we have kind of adapted to, but normally eyeliner was just meant to, again, accentuate your lashes and have them appear more thick and full and dark. So to soften up the very top edge, I am taking a little bit of the color, what is this color? Dark Truffle from that Bon Bon's palette on an angle brush, and just running this along the very top of our liner because her liner wasn't very clean. It kind of had like a nice soft smokiness to it. So just rubbing this back and forth against the top of our liner to kind of soften it up a bit. For lashes, I am using Ono Lash in 102 and applying my House of Lashes Dark Tone Adhesive to the lash band. While this dries, we are going to coat our lashes in some mascara. Only the top lashes first. We'll get to the bottom lashes later. And then taking our NYX Color Correcting Palette, I'm using this pink tone. As you can tell, I've been using this non-stop. I actually take this to all my appointments, and I've been really utilizing this palette. It comes in handy, and it's very small and convenient. With a concealer brush, I am placing this right underneath my eyes directly, and then using this concealer to clean up our shadow and wing, or liner, hardly a wing, and then just blending this all over into the bottom area underneath our eye. Then applying these lashes. By the way, a great dupe for these lashes would be Ardell Wispies or the Elegant Lashes RSWP Wispies as well. Once the lashes are really stuck onto our top lid, I'm then taking an eyelash curler and actually curling my lashes and pressing them up against to the falsies. This is a great way to kind of get your false lashes to really get close and stick to your natural lashes. And then here's something that you guys also never see me do. I'm actually applying some mascara onto my false lashes as well, kind of adhering my real lashes at the base to these false lashes. This does not help with the longevity of your lashes, but it does help with blending them in together. For the face, I am putting on Benefit's Porefessional all over the center of my face. You guys know the drill. This primer on the center of my face, which is my nose, inner cheek area, chin, and forehead. I'm then taking Benefit's Girl Meets Pearl. This is like a backlight liquid illuminator. I'm going to be placing this on my forehead, cheeks, nose, and chin, and just rubbing this evenly all over my entire skin. This is going to give us a luminosity from within and kind of shine through our foundation, so you kind of have a bit of a natural glow going on. But to intensify the glow a little bit more, because she did look very illuminated. For foundation, I'm using Born This Way from Too Faced in Ivory and mixing in a little bit of Benefit's Liquid Illuminator in Sunbeam into the foundation. And then I'm using a damp beauty blender to really make sure this is blended well into my skin. This will also give us a more natural looking payoff, and it has our skin kind of just look more hydrated as well. For concealer, I'm using Tarte's Maracuja Creaseless Concealer and just placing this directly underneath my eyes only. Then taking Sephora's brightening pen and Radiant Rose and just placing this underneath that concealer along the side of our nose and tapering it down towards the tops of our cheekbones. I'm also going to be taking this pen in the center of my forehead as well and taking a little bit on the center of my chin and just a tiny amount, whatever's left on that brush, down the center of our nose. I'm then going to be using that same damp beauty blender to make sure that this is blended well into our foundation as well. And then I'm taking Ben Nye's translucent powder in Pretty Pink, and with that same beauty blender just picking up that powder, and we're basically going to be setting and baking all the areas where we had placed that Sephora brightening pen, just to really make sure this is set and doesn't take away too much from the dewiness that we have going on with our foundation and our glow. For the brows, I am using Benefit's Browsings kit in the shade medium. So I'm going to show you guys how I do more of like a natural brow. I'm using my Anastasia number 12 brush, brushing through my brow hair with the spoolie, and I'm taking the gel or the wax from that brow kit and just using this to kind of push through my entire brow area. I will say, if you have a good amount of brow hair, this kit is great for you. If you are someone that has super sparse or almost barely there brows, I would not recommend this kit. I would recommend a pencil or something that's going to really stick to your skin a whole lot better. This works great to just fill in missing spots for those of us who have more brow hair already. So I'm just going in the natural direction and pushing the wax all the way through my brow, making sure to really pack on more wax onto the areas where I have open gaps or sparser hair. I'm then using that same brush and picking up a little bit of the powder now and just kind of brushing through and filling in all the missing gaps, as you can see, like the empty spaces in my brow with this powder. And the wax really helps have the powder adhere to your brow a whole lot better. And again, you just want to keep in mind, always go in the natural direction of your hair growth. And as I get to the beginning of my brow, I'm then taking the very point of that brush and brushing my hairs upward. I'm then going to be just taking the spoolie once more and just kind of brushing through anywhere where I feel like I have more product. This, again, kind of helps with that whole natural looking brow and accentuates your brow hairs. Then to set the brow, I'm using Benefit's Gimme Brow in the dark tone and just brushing my hairs up and outward for that more full, unruly, unkempt brow look. And then that's it. I'm not even cleaning up with concealer or anything like that because I want to just play on the whole natural brow look, nothing too sharp or clean. Then I am taking my Physicians Formula City Glow bronzer and just on a large powder brush, really warming up my face here. I am just pushing this bronzer up beneath the high points of my cheek. I'm also going to be taking this bronzer very generously across my hairline as well. And then I also like to just brush across this bronzer on the tip of my nose and also the very tip of my chin and a little bit down the sides of my jawline as well. Note, we did not cream contour or anything like that, so your bronzer is what you're going to have to kind of bring dimension back into your face only, not any strong contours, cream contours, powder contours. We are going to powder contour a little bit, but very lightly. I'm then dusting away any of that excess translucent powder and then taking this highlight powder from the Anastasia Powder Contour Kit, the light to medium shades, and on a Luxie highlighter tapered highlighting brush, I'm just pressing this powder up against my under eye area and anywhere where we had placed that translucent powder just to kind of neutralize it and blend it in to our bronzer. And then I'm taking a little bit of Fawn from that same contour kit and on the very tip of that brush and just very lightly going in the natural hollow of my cheek. If we had used a sharper brush or denser brush for this, we would get a sharper contour, but to get a softer contour, using a less dense brush and bigger brush helps with that. I'm also just taking that contour powder up along the sides of my nose as well. For blush, I'm using Maui Illuminating Bronzer from Bobbi Brown. It's in that pan, by the way, because I had gotten that as a gratis from my manager. We had excess display pans, and she gave us all one as a gratis. So don't think I took that from a counter, because I know that's how the displays look, but that was given to me, I promise. I'm just pressing this up against the apples of my cheek, back towards my hairline, and also just across my chin and nose as well for a thorough flush of color. For highlight, I'm using my Too Faced Candlelight Glow highlighter and just dusting this across the tops of my cheekbones and dragging this highlighter down towards the apple of my cheek. I'm also placing some on my cupid's bow, chin, bridge of my nose, and this is something else that you guys hardly see me do, but I'm also taking this on the top of my brow as well, just because when I turn my head, it gives a nice glow all around. I'm then taking the Graftobian lip liner in natural and just lining my lips with this. You can overline, you don't have to overline, you do what you want with the lip liner. Then I am taking Bobbi Brown's nude lip gloss. This is a limited edition lip gloss, so I'm pretty sure they don't have this one anymore, but I'm pretty sure they have something super similar. This lip gloss by itself is horrendous. It does nothing for your lips, but when paired with a lip liner that matches your lips, your natural lip color closest, it is beautiful together. It just has like this perfect nude lip, and Selena Gomez looked like she was hardly even wearing anything on her lips during that fashion show. I mean, it was a super nude lip she had going on, so I kind of wanted to mimic that as like best as possible. And I knew she was wearing something on her lips though, because they looked very glossy, but it was hardly anything with a lot of color, like you could just tell. Then to finish off the eye look, bear with me, I am taking that same lip liner actually and placing that within my waterline just to accentuate the actual natural redness in my eye. And then over on top, I'm setting that with a little bit of mocha just to add a little bit of bronziness to that inner waterline. Try this at your own risk. I didn't have any reaction to putting lip liner in my eye, but like I said, just try it at your own risk. I can't say it's completely safe just because I don't know the ingredients. I'm then taking mocha on a pencil brush and brushing that up against my natural bottom lashes, and then a little bit of Totally Fetch on the outer corner, and then taking Bobbi Brown's almond blush and brushing that up against, just further smoking it out. Then taking a little bit of satin sheets on the inner tear duct only, nothing on the brow bone, and then just coating my bottom lashes with mascara, setting with some Fix Plus, and voila, we are done. For this being a simple natural look, it actually took longer, but just to explain everything and why I was doing it, since it's so different from what I normally do. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed it, took something away from it. I'll see you all in my next video. By the way, Merry Christmas. I will see you guys after the Christmas holidays, okay? Bye guys.